Is live downtown with more on this. Ed, I thought I saw a couple of people out there at the supermarkets already gathering signatures for this, but I guess today must be like the official kickoff.
Well, that may be likely. Good morning, but the official kickoff is today here at 1550 Market, and this is the building is one of Father Joe's supportive housing complexes, and we'll tell you a little bit more about why we are at this particular location in a moment. Recall recently we were over at the Regional Chamber of Commerce because the Yes for a Better San Diego campaign was updating us on the contributions involving this particular initiative. So the signature gathering officially begins today. The initiative involves money for the convention center expansion, homeless funding, and infrastructure. Over the course of 42 years, yes, 42 years, the increase in the city's visitors tax will generate $2 billion for homeless issues. So today, here at this building, for obvious reasons then, Father Joe's, they are kicking off the initiative drive in terms of the signature gathering. They need some 71,000 valid signatures. You get the idea, because we got a lot of stuff going on in the ballot for 2018. The Father Joe's people will be here, but among the people who will also be here is Carol Kim, who's Director of Community Engagement for the San Diego Building and Construction Trades Council. Good morning.
Good morning.
If you were with us at 8 o'clock, we were talking to Carol about the accountability. Well, we started to talk about the accountability because we want to stress to you that $2 billion for homeless issues comes out of the increase, in addition to the convention center expansion and infrastructure. And Carol began to say, and I said, yeah, let's talk about that at 9 o'clock. You also want to emphasize to the voters about the accountability as to, okay, here's how the money's going to get partial out, and here's how it's going to work, and we have built that in, and we want to assure the voters of that.
Absolutely. In fact, one of the major components of this particular ballot measure is that it requires a 5-year plan to be developed for that front-loaded money that we mentioned earlier this morning. And in that 5-year plan, it requires that we draw on the expertise of homeless experts and other folks who do this work day in and day out. And then it actually requires that we are implementing and enforcing that plan. And so we do that in a number of ways. We're going to have annual audits that are required of all those dollars, which makes to make sure that it's being used efficiently and effectively and in accordance with what they came up with, as well as a citizens oversight committee that's going to be monitoring it and keeping track and tabs and flagging it if things aren't going the way we planned.
Again, we are talking about 3 entities involved here: convention center expansion, homelessness, and infrastructure. But as we also talked about in some depth at 8 o'clock, the idea, well, okay, $2 billion over 42 years, you're talking 4 decades. No, we have front-loaded some of that money for homelessness because it has to be addressed now, as does, obviously, infrastructure and convention center.
That's right. I mean, the homeless crisis right now is so problematic and it's so big and so overwhelming. We felt it was really necessary for us to front-load that money so that we can deploy a large amount in the 5 years that it first comes online. And in order to be able to do that, we wanted to also make sure that that money was accounted for, that it was going to be overseen and made sure that it was spent and used in the way that we all know needs to happen in order to address some of these issues.
Carol, thank you.
Thank you.
10:30. You're also going to have an announcement about a key endorsement for this, and we'll hold all that for 10:30. Huh?
Yes, we're excited because we're broad-based coalition is what this is.
Carol, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, again, 10:30. And Father Joe's people will be here, as well as supporters of the initiative. And Carol, thank you for the introduction to the noise that is 1550 Market Street. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Ed.